everyone, and welcome back to Seduce Me. Last time we left off, we met all of the incubi and basically started getting a relationship with them. Our parents called and they want a house party tomorrow, and the boys said that they're going to help out with that. So, let's see how that goes and continue on. But first, I'm going to save the game just in case. There we go. Okay. Let's go.
You fucking pretty boys think you're all that, huh? Well, save that to the end of my pistol.
Well, damn. Huh? What's going on? I couldn't move my body. I felt like I was tied up, and I couldn't see anything beyond the darkness that surrounded me, yet I could hear the sounds of a heated argument coming at me from all directions.
One move and she gets it.
Let her go!
I better not be, like, being fucking murdered right now. Matthew?
Come on, chicken shit. Fight us like a real man.
Like you scare me, Sam. Come on. Take one step. I dare ya.
Why can't I see?
Stay away from her, Malix!
And what are you gonna do, nerd boy?
Suddenly, I felt myself pulled to one side and arms wrapped around my body protectively.
I've got you. Don't worry.
Huh, Eric? As I was held in a tight embrace, I felt the world around me once again settle into a low, peaceful hum. The hostility of the dream before had faded into black as the arms around me rocked me comfortingly. Slowly, though, my eyes fluttered open and I looked up at the person holding me. Damien? I stared into the eyes of Damien. His face was painted with worry and concern. I knew he must have seen my dream. Why did I dream of Eric holding me, though?
You can't control your dreams.
Well, I guess you're right, and I'm still wearing the same outfit I was yesterday, even though I have my pajamas on, but whatever.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. What time is it?
It's 9 a.m. James and I were making breakfast when I, well...
You can't control your mind reading?
No, not yet at least. I hope to learn eventually, though.
Is everything alright?
Yeah, I'm alright.
That's good. I'm assuming you had a nightmare.
Yeah, I'm sorry for disturbing you both.
You didn't disturb us, miss. Besides, we'd rather make sure you're okay before anything.
Oh, thank you.
Now, why don't you come downstairs with us and have some breakfast? I'm sure some nice food will take your mind off of what you dreamt of.
It was embarrassing to be the damsel in distress once again, but I felt rather happy that James and Damien were concerned for me, despite only knowing me for a short time. I wasn't sure if it was just courtesy or if they were genuinely concerned. I couldn't exactly read their minds. Alright. The two boys led me back to the dining room, where the smell of bacon and eggs danced in the air. The smell wafted from the kitchen and made its way into the room, making my stomach growl in need. Breakfast smells good.
We should be done with breakfast soon. If you want to sit down at the table, you can.
I nodded before sitting down. As I sat down, however, my mind drifted back to the dream I had. That feeling of hostility around me made my body shudder instinctively, even though I knew it wasn't real. However, as my eyes closed, I felt a hand place itself on top of my head, breaking me out of my thoughts. Huh?
Morning. You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sam, the owner of the hand on my head, raised an eyebrow before rustling my hair and moving away to sit down at the table. He then barked towards the kitchen where James was working.
Hey! Is the food done yet? I'm starving!
There's no need to yell, Sam!
You're yelling too!
Don't argue with me!
From behind me, Eric appeared and sat beside me, rubbing his temples in obvious annoyance.
Can we not yell this early in the morning? It's not like we're in the castle.
Castle? For some reason, when I heard the word castle, I couldn't help but yell in surprise. These guys had a castle? Some looked at me and smirked at my reaction.
Yeah, we have a castle back home. Our dining room's 10 times bigger than this room.
And wouldn't it be logical to not yell?
Whatever.
Soon, James and Damien appeared, hands full of plates that carried bacon, eggs, toast, and waffles. Ooh, waffles. They placed the plates down by each seat before seating themselves.
My favorite.
Finally.
Thank you for the breakfast. It looks amazing.
It's our pleasure.
God damn it! Hello?
Hey, good morning. Guess who's at your door right now?
Oh, shit. Right on cue, there was a knock from the lobby door. My heart stopped. Suzu and Naomi were here.
I'll get it.
Oh, God. My heart quickly began to pound in my chest. Matthew was in the lobby and he'd get to the door first. I instantly jumped out of my chair and rushed out of the dining room. As I passed through the archway between the dining room and the lobby, I saw Matthew reach his hand for the brass door handle, causing the world to go into slow motion. Matthew, don't! But before my words could reach his ears, Matthew had opened the door and revealed the surprised faces of Naomi and Suzu. The world around me stopped as Suzu and Naomi kept their eyes on Matthew, who merely stared back in fear and embarrassment. I could feel the air go from warm to freezing in a matter of seconds.
Hi?
I could not believe this was happening. How was I going to explain this? This week was already bad enough. To make matters worse, I was frozen in place. Please, for God's sake, someone do something other than stand there.
Who are you?
Suzu, let me explain.
What's going on here?
Who's at the door, Matthew? Oh.
Soon the other incubi appeared in the lobby with us. The situation was getting pretty bad, I guess. I had to think fast.
What's going on?
You can scroll? Anyway. They're visitors.
Then why did one of them open the door? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
God damn it. There was no use. There was no time to lie to them. I felt helpless. Then I felt a hand on my shoulder and felt the tension in my body almost fade away. I turned my head to see James smile at me before stepping in front of me.
We must apologize, ladies. We know this situation must be confusing for everyone. Let's take this to the dining room and we'll explain everything.
I stared at James wide-eyed. What was he going to tell them? Everything seemed surreal. Before I knew it, I was led to the dining room along with Suzu and Naomi and sat across from their confused gazes. As Naomi and Suzu sat down, Eric and Matthew placed their untouched plates of food in front of them, surprising their guest.
Whoa, this looks amazing. Thank you.
Our pleasure, ladies. We hope you enjoy your meals.
Make sure you dig in.
I looked at Naomi and Suzu as they began to eat, visibly enjoying every bite they placed in their mouths. Hopefully the food would ease their minds for whatever James wanted to reveal. As Naomi and Suzu ate their impromptu meals, James and the other boys stood behind my chair, making my face grow red.
So, Anderson, are you gonna tell us what's going on?
Well, you see, Gently, James placed a hand on my shoulder again, signaling me to just eat my food. As we began to eat, he spoke to Naomi and Suzu.
We are Miss Anderson's house servants. We were hired by her late grandfather to help around the mansion, but since he has passed, we now assist Miss Anderson with living on her own.
That makes sense. It's such a huge house.
Thank God.
A huge house for a wonderful princess such as Miss Anderson deserves the greatest of servants to care for it.
But why are you all dressed so casually and stuff? Aren't servants supposed to have uniforms or whatever?
Well, Miss Anderson allows us to get comfy while we work, so she lets us wear casual clothes.
Yeah, something like that.
We're sorry if we made this situation awkward earlier.
We're very sure that Miss Anderson is also still getting used to having us as her servants. It would be very hard to explain after just a day.
I guess.
So, if I may ask, what brings you two ladies here?
Well, we wanted to see how our friend was doing. Since it's the weekend and all, usually we hang out and just chill. Yeah, like going to the arcade and stuff. Or the Pink Lady Cafe.
There's an arcade?
That makes a lot of sense, ladies. Well, we don't wish to disturb you any further than we have, so we'll take our leave and start preparing the house.
Huh? Preparing for what?
We gotta prep the house for some sort of housewarming party thing.
Our princess's parents requested a housewarming party to be held here soon.
And by soon they mean tonight.
Oh, well, I guess we can help out or something. Right, Naomi? I thought you wanted to go to the arcade. This housewarming thing is more important.
No need. We can handle it. If you'd like to, miss, you can go out with your friends while we handle things here.
Seriously?
Sam, not now.
Well, like, I wanted to help out, but at the same time, I wanted to go out with my friends. James gave me a look of understanding, letting me know that if I left, everything would be okay. I had to make a decision. I'll help. I'm sure besides it's my housewarming party, I should help out too.
Want us to help out as well?
I think we all got it taken care of. Thanks though, girls.
All right. We'll head on out then, so we're not in the way.
Sorry guys, I'll hang out with you guys soon. I mean, I would feel bad if I made guys that I just met set out a fucking house party for me. They can wait for hanging out, like, every weekend.
It's all good, Anderson. We'll definitely come to the housewarming party tonight.
Good. That's what I wanted. Thank you. I led them back into the lobby and walked them to the doors, opening it for them with a thankful smile. They both gave me hugs before walking out to Naomi's car, which was parked in the driveway. And with that, they left. I was happy that they wanted to help, but I had to do this on my own. It was not their work, so I didn't want to force it on them just because they were my best friends. We had the entire day to work. The party was tonight, and we had to do all we could to make everything right. We sat down and talked about what needed to be happened before the party started that night. Each guy had been assigned a different part of the party to do, and right after lunch we began to work. Since everything was taken care of by at least one incubus, James told me I could assist one of them. The question was who? Ah, shit. Shit. Oh god. I like him, and I like him, and I kinda like him. Oh god. Damien. I like him. We're going for him. Because he's cute. Looks concerned all the time. I stayed in the lobby with Damien, who nodded to me and passed me a dust cloth.
We have to dust off the railings and other surfaces before we mop the floor. Is that okay?
I mean, I used to be a janitor, so yes. I nodded and rolled up my sleeves, climbing the steps of the staircase. Easy as cake. Well, easy as pie. Depends on what kind of cake or pie. But anyway, both Damien and I began to climb to the top of the stairs, wiping the dust off the railing as we went. However, a silly idea came into mind. I look over to Damien, wondering if he could read what I was thinking. As I expected, Damien looked over in slight surprise before giving me a slightly concerned look.
What if you get hurt?
Oh, come on, it'll be fun. I did it all the time as a kid. Damien stared at the rail and thought. My mind began to wander to how much fun my idea was, hoping my thoughts would convince him. Damien sighed softly before smirking slightly and nodding. Woo! I quickened my pace on the rail, dusting as quickly as I could to get to the top. Damien followed quickly behind on the opposite side until we were both at the top of the stairs. We both then jumped up and sat on the top of the rails, sliding down each side like a roller coaster. There was a lot of thought on the execution, but not so much on stopping.
Watch out!
Whoa! Our brakes had become us slamming into each other and landing on the floor, him on top of me. I stared up at him in surprise as he looked down at me in concern. Neither of us knew what to say. Laugh. I started to laugh. I didn't know why, but I couldn't control myself. I closed my eyes and laughed in pure enjoyment of what had just happened. Damien began to laugh as well, smiling widely. Both of us had ended up on the floor, laughing on the floor. Damien rolled off of me and held his stomach as I held mine. We were both completely engulfed in joy.
You were right. That was fun.
See, I told you. Both of us curled into ourselves, facing each other in laughter before we looked at each other with smiles. What? However, Damien's face softened as his laughter slowly died. He smiled with happiness in his eyes and a blush across his cheeks. I stared in surprise, my face turning red in return, but my mind going blank. I couldn't stop staring at Damien's smile. Something about him was just completely charming. His eyes had a mixture of happiness and a small bit of yearning. Soon, though, Damien stood up and reached a hand down to me, breaking my silent thoughts.
Come on. We need to keep cleaning.
I slowly nodded before standing and continuing to clean alongside him. The hour of the house party had arrived. In my mind, I kept double and triple checking the essentials for the party. Knowing my dad, he invited some of his business party partners and the executives of the Anderson Company to show me off. I stood in front of my mirror in my room, staring at my form as a million thoughts ran through my mind. It was just a housewarming party, but at the same time it wasn't. It was my chance to show my dad that I was better than his expectations. It was a chance for me to see my parents as a woman. What? For me to see my parents... Whatever. It was my test to see if I was really ready to live on my own. Well, not truly alone. I had the incubi to thank, but even so, I didn't have my dad guiding me or my mom helping me through living alone. A knock on my door broke my thoughts, surprising me. Who is it?
Hey, are you okay in there? Your parents should be here soon, so you should hurry getting ready.
Well, I'm ready, but...
But what? I'm sure you look fine, Anderson. Just come on out.
Alright. Oh, they're cute. I don't like my dress. Purple or blue. As soon as I opened the door to the hall, I watched as Naomi and Suzu's face turned from smiles to complete awestruck stares. Her dress is super cute. What?
Dude, you look hot. Yeah, you look amazing. Where did you get that dress?
That is a look of fuck yeah. I've had it for a while, I just never had the chance to wear it. I figured I might as well bring it out now. I stepped out of my room and closed the bedroom door behind me. As I walked down the hall to the grand lobby, the incubi stood waiting for me at the bottom, all dressed to the nines as proper servants.
Whoa! They really know how to dress well, don't they?
Yeah. I was slightly taken aback on how great the boys looked in uniform. Each had the pose of a perfect gentleman, or boys, which I don't know, even Sam. I slowly began to climb down the steps with Suzu and Naomi behind me. The boys watched as I descended the staircase one step at a time, like knights waiting for their princess. I felt my face slightly blush, but I quickly shook my head to try and regain my thoughts. As I reached the last step, James offered his hand out to me and walked down that final step smiling.
As beautiful as a princess, miss.
Whoop!
As beautiful as a...
Yes, thank you. Thank you!
So, are you prepared for tonight?
I mean, I guess. As ready as I'll ever be. I couldn't deny that I was nervous, but I had to try. This party was more than what it seemed, and I had done all that I could to prepare. Now, it was all up to fate. Oops, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. The other boys smiled assuringly at me, which made me feel a little better about everything. I looked at my phone and marked the time, almost right on the cue. The doorbell rang. I gulped. I could practically feel my dad's aura from behind the door. Sam and Eric quickly rushed through the door and opened the double doors wide to reveal my parents both dressed in their best. Hey Mom, hey Dad.
Oh my, I didn't know your bequeathment came with servants.
It was probably overlooked. Besides, who would deny good service?
I was completely shocked. My parents didn't question the boys. They didn't ask for verification or anything. I looked to the boys and noticed Sam and Eric staring intently at my parents. Were they using their powers on them? They had to be. There would be no way they'd be okay with this otherwise.
I guess the servants counted as belongings to the house.
My mother quickly rushed to me and gave me a large hug. I hugged her back, inhaling her perfume. It had only been a couple of days, but living away from the ones who raised me was hard. My mother soon let me go and looked at my outfit.
Gorgeous. You look so lovely. David, look at your daughter and tell her I'm right.
Oops, sorry. I looked to my dad, who was looking around the lobby like an inspector. I stood my ground, waiting for him to look at me. When he did, he let a smile grace his lips.
Your mother's right. You look like you're all grown up.
The world around me stopped as my heart pounded hard in my chest. Did my dad just compliment me on his own accord? My mother was grinning ear to ear at his words. I was beyond speechless. Thank you, Daddy. However, his cold face quickly returned as he began to look around once again.
I assume that you're ready, then, to impress the rest of the guests, correct?
What do you mean?
The entire board from Anderson Toys is coming tonight. Even the vice chairman's son will be coming. All of them will be measuring your potential.
Great. My potential?
To become CEO of the company.
I knew it. Something was off about tonight, and now this party had become much more than I anticipated. I gulped silently, but I nodded in response. I looked to the incubi, but they were continuing to be servants for my father's approval. I looked behind me and saw Naomi and Suzu raise their thumbs at me for encouragement. I let out a small breath before feeling my body accept the situation. I felt a weight in my gut, but I had to hide it. As if time zoomed forward, all of a sudden the main hall of the lobby was full of guests. Men and women in formal or business attire showed up to meet me and see my new home. I didn't expect many to come, but I was once again surprised that night. I shook hands with many officials and executive members, putting on the professional face my dad trained me to have. I felt overwhelmed, but I hid it well behind a small smile and a handshake. Many even asked me questions. I tried my best to reply as maturely as possible. I had to remember, say what they want to hear, not what you want to say.
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age?
I'm doing my best.
I'm so sorry about your grandfather passing away. It really hit all of us hard.
Thank you for
Do
your
you
condolences.
have college plans?
Yes, I do. I feel like the questions came up one after another. It was tough to answer some of them because they weren't about me, they were about the company.
What do you think will happen with the company now that your grandfather has passed?
It will get back on track soon.
What do you think of the philanthropic policy the company has?
It's a policy that reflects my own values, so I personally
Do you
think
think
it's
the
great.
company should expand from just toys?
Okay, hope that actually clicked it. It's a possibility. Eventually, the question stopped, and I was back to being myself. Naomi and Suzu were mingling in the crowds, and the incubi were doing their job, so I was all alone in a room full of strangers. It was unnerving to think about, but at least I wasn't being questioned left and right anymore. Suddenly, though, my mom pushed her way through the crowd to me, bringing along someone I didn't know.
Honey, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This kind gentleman is the son of the vice chairman.
Oh, he's pretty cute. With my mother stood a man who looked only a couple years older than me. He smiled and held out his hand to me, silently asking for my hand.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lewis. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Anderson.
Place your hand in his. As I placed my hand in his, he raised it to his lips and kissed over my knuckles. Ugh. I felt my face burn slightly at the gesture. Andrew smiled at me before releasing my hand.
I'm honored to be invited here.
Watch it, buddy. My mother smiled at both of us, which made me slightly concerned. Why was she excited to introduce me to Andrew?
So, you organized this party very well, Miss Anderson.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Praise is very much deserved.
Andrew then chuckled nervously, bringing a soft fist to his lips to cover his laughs properly before smiling at me.
I'm sorry if I seem a little forward. I've just been excited to meet Harold Anderson's granddaughter.
Bet you have been. Huh? Why?
He used to talk about you all the time in the office on how you helped him refine his toys. I only attended meetings and heard all of the stories. You've helped a lot with the success of the company without having to actually work there.
Hilarious. Oh, wow, I didn't know he talked about me. That would explain everyone's fascination with me and their rather personal questions. I looked at Andrew, who had a kind face to me. Something about him seemed off, and I didn't know what it was. He seemed to be hiding something. Whether it was good or bad, I was not able to find out. I felt someone walk up beside me, causing me to turn to them. Next to me was my dad, giving his cold stare to Andrew, who suddenly became tense. He looks fucking concerned.
So, you're Jared's son.
Andrew's body twitched slightly. Whether it was fear or insult, Andrew locked eyes with my father. I couldn't help but feel the tension between them. It irked me how fragile the air had become, enough to break apart at the wrong word.
You're the one who wants to be the next CEO of the Anderson Company.
Well...
I stared at Andrew. This guy wanted to take my grandfather's place as CEO. I thought the vice chairman wanted that position.
David, leave the poor boy alone.
I'm merely testing the boy's conversational skills. Nothing wrong with that.
Of course not, sir.
And polite as well.
If you'll excuse me.
Yeah, you're fucking awkward. Quickly, Andrew retreated away from my family into the crowd of people. I don't blame him. Stay put. I watched as he disappeared into the crowd towards the back of the house. I was worried, but I gave him space. He obviously needed it.
He's not CEO material.
Calm the fuck
That's because you practically interrogated the young man.
My mom's sassy as fuck, and I like it.
A little questioning shouldn't have bothered him. He's obviously not ready for any title in our company.
I bit my tongue. I didn't want to make a scene with my dad. One wrong word and he'd lecture me in front of everyone. That was not something I wanted at my housewarming party. I let out a sigh before looking at the clock. I was getting ready. It was getting close to midnight, meaning that the party was going to end soon. I lowered my gaze out of the window and saw a limo pull up. Huh? Whose limo is that?
Oh, that must be Lewis's car.
It's Lewis.
I'll go get him. Stay with your father so you can escort your guests out together.
Yes, Mom. My mother left my dad and me to slowly escort the guests out. My dad held his simple smile as he thanked each person for coming. I did the same. Andrew quickly passed the doors before I could speak. Eventually, only Suzu, Naomi, and my parents and the incubi were left. My dad suddenly walked over and placed a hand on my shoulder with a smile. I stared up at him, a wave of confusion washing over my face. What?
You did good tonight. I'm proud.
Oh, thank you, Dad.
Keep it up, and you'll be a good CEO.
Oh, right.
All right. Your mother and I have
Dad
to
approves.
I'm sure Naomi and Suzu need
GG, Dad.
Just because it's Saturday doesn't mean you should stay up all night.
I will stay up all night, such as I am doing this night, as it's 3:14 a.m. Oh, right.
Thanks for having us. It was a great party.
We'll come visit tomorrow or something. All right?
Right. See ya.
Good night, sweetie. Come visit us soon.
Yes. Will do. All four of my remaining guests left the building, all but my dad waving back to me. With the last of the house guests gone, I sighed and sat on the staircase exhausted. Phew, that was tiring.
It's not like you had to do any work, though.
Fuck off, Sam.
Give her a break, man. She was getting interrogated left and right.
She handled herself the best she could.
As expected, princess.
Since you're exhausted, why not head to bed? We can clean up.
Hush, Sam.
Are you guys sure?
Positive. It shouldn't take long.
Ho ho ho! It didn't take long to find you little shits after all.
I felt a hot shudder run down my spine. The voice from my dreams echoed through the air into my ears. I looked around, panicked, alongside the incubi. James placed a hand on my shoulder, trying to remain calm.
Don't worry. No one will hurt.
Are you sure? Are you really sure?
All of us shot our heads towards the door, finally pinning down the direction of the voice. The doors quickly swung open, revealing a sight I would never expect to see. Intimidating. Skin red as blood, eyes black and gold, piercing and divine, roughened up clothes and a pistol in his hand. I saw a monster. And a demon girlfriend. I covered my mouth to not scream at the sight. Dried blood covered the bandana around his neck. It just looked like a red bandana. As he smirked at me and the boys around me, beside the red-skinned man was a similar-looking woman in matching thug-like clothes.
Oh, what's the matter, boys? You really didn't think I wouldn't find you, did you?
I hoped you would, you piece of...
Shit. All of a sudden, the man raised his gun at Sam's face and instantly pulled the trigger. Ooh. We all gasped in shock, instinctively expecting to see a bullet run through Sam's face, but...
What? What the fuck?
What?
We should have been a headshot ended with a loud but empty blank shot. The pistol echoed its empty chambers as the man grew more and more pissed, pulling the trigger over and over in aggravation. Luckily for my ears, it became quieter after its first shot.
Why the fuck won't you work?
This place is protected.
What did you say, Shrimp?
This place has a seal, protecting it from hellborn magic.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Ah!
The man growled and threw his gun at Sam, who was able to dodge it in time. The pistol bounced off the ground a couple of times before sliding further away, hitting the wall in a final stop. As it stopped moving, the gun faded into black flames that disappeared into the air.
The previous owner had this place protected by magic, Malix.
Malix, that was his name. His existence resonated in my memory from the dream I had. However, I looked to Matthew in the same confusion as Malix did. This place is protected by magic?
It would seem that your grandfather had some sort of protective barrier around this house. From the looks of it, it only disables hellborn magic.
Malix's face grew to that of extreme anger, his fist tightening as if he was crushing a stress ball. Why the fuck would my grandpa have a magic protective barrier? He made toys.
Then what's stopping me from dragging your asses out and shooting you then?
Nothing. Out of pure instinct, I stepped forward and placed myself between Malix and the boys. With no power, Malix wasn't going to fight. I took that chance to stand up to him instead of being powerless like I was in the dream. Get fuck off. Malix suddenly laughed wildly, staring at me in disbelief.
Whoa! Let the bitch out of her cage! What is this? A reverse harem or something?
Alex grinned at me evilly, walking close to me. All of a sudden, I felt a hand grip my hair and pull it back, forcing me to cry out and stare up at Malix. His eyes bored into mine as he cackled in my face.
Hey! Let her go!
Sam! Eric!
Oh. Within mere seconds, Sam had punched Malix square in the jaw, forcing him to let my hair go. As I fumbled back, Eric caught me in his arms, gently pulling me away from Malix and back in their group.
Come on, Sam. You and me. Right here. Let's go!
Come on, asswipe!
However, before both could fight, the woman stepped forward and placed a firm grip on Malix's shoulder.
That's enough, Malix.
What? Who do you think you're speaking to, woman?
Woman!
The girl who's going to help you kill them. Just not now.
Not now?
I stared as the girl spoke down at Malix. She looked the same, just like pure evil. However, she seemed to be concerned for Malix, or for me.
There's 5 of them, and 2 of us. Even if we come back with the gang, they can have the place surrounded by human police.
Then we shoot everyone!
Think! If we shoot everyone, we'll be hunted. And it'll be a matter of time before makeshift paladins come and try to exorcise us.
The two growled at each other. If they could have used their magic, I could sense that fire would glow from under their teeth. Alex grunted and glared at the boys. He pointed at James, wanting so badly to use his fingers like a knife.
Just wait, pretty boys. We'll get you and fuck you up real good.
Well, that was a great laugh. Then Malix turned at me, moving his finger to point directly between my eyes.
And don't think you're safe. Step outside. I dare you.
Okay. With that, Malix and the woman walked out of the mansion. The doors closed behind them, leaving the boys and I alone once again. I felt my knees give out from under me, forcing the boys to quickly turn to catch me.
Whoa! Are you alright?
Yeah, why was he here?
He's been closely tracking us. Our blood trail from the forest must have led him here.
We should have stopped him and finished it here.
For once, Matthew, I agree with you.
I stood up and rubbed my arms, feeling the goosebumps Malix left behind on me. I couldn't stop myself from shivering in fear of his words. Malix, was he a demon?
That son of a bitch is not a demon. He's a devil.
A devil? There's a difference?
Yes. Demons come from a different plane of existence called the Abyssal Planes. Devils, however, come from one of the 7 circles of a place humans know as hell. Despite us not being human, we are very different creatures.
We actually have brains, for one. Devils always like to cause trouble and try to kill or torture others for their own enjoyment. Demons, like us, know when to use our powers and when not to. We're not stupid.
Devils follow orders from higher-ups in their order, and their power only comes from their connection to hell. Demons all have free wills and don't rely on where they came from to use their powers.
It's all so confusing. Demons and devils and magic all existed, and I happened to land in the middle of it. What did we do?
You're safe. You've been protected as well.
What?
What Damien's saying is that the magic that protects this place also protects you.
Well, that's convenient.
Your grandfather must have cast it when you last saw him or something of that nature. We can sense its aura around your body.
I couldn't believe my ears. It was the third day of surprises, and this one took the cake in being the most surprising. I felt my head spin once again. So why the fuck am my grandpa dealing with, like, demons and shit? What did I get myself into?
Miss, please don't worry. We'll find a way to train ourselves and become stronger to finally finish this feud.
We'll kick his ass right now.
Right now.
Until then, we'll protect you as much as we can. If Malix comes back, we'll be here for you.
What about going outside? Won't he...
Like we said, you have a protection spell on you. Even if Malix attacks you, he won't be able to use his magic on you. He'd be just like any other human you can fight back against.
Didn't you say you knew Taekwondo?
Well, yeah. I felt somewhat relieved that I was mostly safe from Malik. Still, I could not help but feel very nervous and apprehensive about the future. The boys were safe here to train and become stronger, but what if Malix did the same? Even more so, I was so lost about how my grandfather knew about magic. I had to find out. At least I had time. I went to bed that night. What the fuck? Green apples. Anyway. Despite the words of the incubi, I felt like a target to something I'd never be able to explain or prove. Magic, devils, demons. How did this all even happen? Should I really meddle with the situation? They are only staying until after they defeat Malix. That's right, they said they'd only stay until after they defeated Malix. After that, my life could go back to normal. Temporary insanity, as Kay would say. The question then, would I want them to leave? If my life went back to normal, then I'd have to care for the house all on my own. I'd get to focus on my life instead of being distracted by the boys. I'd have to. My life. Where was my life going? I was under pressure from my parents, with only my friends and the boys to comfort me. Without the boys, I'd have no way to hide from my responsibilities. Enough. Let's just sleep and deal with tomorrow when it comes. Defeating my sense of thought, I forced myself to sleep, unsure of what tomorrow had planned for me. Hopefully, whatever the future had for me, I would be ready for it. And that will do it for Seduce Me. This episode is probably going to lead on a little bit more, so I'm going to record one more episode after this. So, if you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you have something to say, please leave a comment. If you would like to see more, please subscribe, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time on the next episode of Seduce Me.